Hey everybody, Vicky with Black Dog Vintage and Antique, and I'm continuing my birthday celebration with 14 CVD cards from the Civil War. So if you don't know what a CDV card is, it stands for, and I'm going to massacre the French pronunciation, so everybody forgive me, carte de visite. So a visiting card. They were meant to be the size of a visiting card. They were a piece of photography that was actually put onto a card, and they're very easy to tell. It was patented by a French photographer, André Disdairy, and copies at the time were difficult and expensive, so he came up with this new way to make lots and lots of copies. It was introduced to England in 1857, and in 1860, a photo of Queen Victoria, Albert, and their children were published, and the popularity of these things just like soared and went through the roof. So they were really a big deal with celebrities. People wanted to collect celebrities. They were the trading cards of their day. Let's put it that way. People began to collect them, family and friends, and they would mount them in these albums, which they could pick up in the stationery stores that they were selling. The height of this craze was the 1860s. After that, it kind of dwindled off a little bit. So the size, and this is important, is usually 2.5 by 4 for the total. So it'll be 2.5 from here to here, and then 4 inches from here to here. And the picture itself, it will be a different size, slightly different size. It'll be 2.5 by 3 inches. So that's a good way to spot these cards. And you can see that how they're kind of mounted on there too. Also, you can tell the age of them because the squared off corners came in the 1860s. And I don't have a rounded one with me right now, but then they went to the rounded ones, and the rounded ones were after 1860. They were in the 1870s. Now, a lot of these, or a few of these, were done by the Civil War pictures themselves were done by Matthew Brady. He was a huge photographer. He was like the photographer of Civil War. So some of these photos have been taken by Matthew Brady, and then they've made copies of them. So it's not like these are the only copy that are out there. Think of these as like baseball cards, all right? Some of them are rarer than others. And it was really popular in the Union, in the North, in the Union, to collect all these generals and have them together because it was a big deal. You know, people used to take picnic baskets to the Civil War and sit and watch the war. I can't even fathom that in my head right now, but it's what they used to do for entertainment. So how this is going to work, I have 14 of these lovely guys here, 14 different gents. I'm going to give you a little brief talking about who they are and what they did. I'll give you a number, and I probably will forget to say the number. So what I'll do is I'll take a photo and then put their name and the number, and you just type that into the comment section below. First come, first serve. All of these are going to be $5. So let's get to it. Okay, let's kick things off with the Commodore here. This is Commodore William D. Porter, and he was captain of the USS St. Mary and the USS Essex. He came from a very long line of Navy men. His father, his stepbrother, adopted brother, whatever they called him back then, all very big in the Navy. In 1942, the U.S. Navy dedicated a Fletcher-class destroyer that they named after him, and it was known as the unluckiest ship during World War II, which is kind of funny, because my grandfather actually sailed on the USS Baltimore, which was also a destroyer, and that was known as the luckiest ship. Never, ever, ever took a hit, which is kind of cool. So if you're interested in this guy, he is number 36. This gentleman here, the bearded one, is Major General Oliver Otis Howard, 1830 to 1909. His nickname was the Christian General. He fought at Chancellorsville and Gettysburg, and he won the Medal of Honor after losing his right arm in the Battle of Fair Oaks and Seven Pines. So if you are interested in this gentleman, he is number 3. He's kind of got a comb over, doesn't he? Maybe a little bit. It could just be his hair. I don't know. But anyways, this is Major General Nathaniel P. Banks, 1816 to 1894. Lincoln promoted him as a political general over West Point grads. Really wasn't all that popular of an idea. He was the 24th governor of Massachusetts and later on the 21st Speaker of the House. And if you're interested in him, he is number 6. This bearded man, another bearded man, a lot of them had beards, but some of them were very nice beards. I'll be honest, some of them are very nice. This gentleman here is Major General George Henry Thomas, also known as the Sledge of Nashville or Old Slow Trot. Obviously, he didn't ride a horse very well. Can't blame him there. He was a Southern Unionist, meaning he was from the South, but he fought for the North because he was from Virginia. So if you are interested in this gentleman, he will be number 32. And I swear, this gentleman here, this next gentleman, he epitomizes the look of the age because he kind of looks like a young Mark Twain. He kind of looks a little bit like Booth. Kind of looks a little bit like Nathaniel Hawthorne. It's the hairdo and that big old mustache. This is Major General John Logan, 1826 to 1886. His nickname was Black Jack. He ran for vice president and lost, but his most important contribution after the war was in the move to recognize Memorial Day, which was then known as Decoration Day, as an official holiday. So thank you very much, General Logan, for giving us Memorial Day. This gentleman looks like he's having a little trouble sitting down keeping his jacket buttons, but no judgment. I shouldn't judge. This here is Rear Admiral John Ankrum Winslow, 1811 to 1873. He was a career military captain, and he was the captain of the USS Kearsarge. So that was a very important naval battle. It was actually one of the first naval battles. It was a big one, too. And the Kearsarge sunk the USS Alabama in 1864 at the Battle of Cherbourg. And I'm probably massacring that French name, so forgive me. This gentleman here, I don't have a heck of a lot on. He is Major General J.K. Warren. Nope, not J. G.K. Warren. Woo! G.K. Warren. His first name was Governor. Go figure. He was a civil engineer and considered the hero of Little Round Top. And if you are interested in him, he will be number 28. Might be one of the only profile ones I have. Most of them are pretty head on, but apparently he's given us 3/4 profile. I guess it's his good side. This is Major General Henry W. Slocum. He fought at the Battle of Bull Run, Yorktown, Antietam, Gettysburg, Atlanta. The man was everywhere. Well, anyways, if you're interested in him, he will be number 33. This general has a very big brain. This is Major General Henry Halleck, 1815 to 1872. He was known as Old Brains. He was General-in-Chief of the armies from 1862 to 18, and I'm not sure what I have written down there for a number, but I have some number written down there. But he was General of the armies until, and a lot of this changed. They kept swapping guys out until Grant stepped in. He was the boss man. So if you're interested in him, he will be number 29. This goateed man, now that's a proper goatee too. This is Major General Philip Kearney, U.S. Army, Union Army, French Army. So this guy got around. He was killed in action at Chantilly in 1862. And if you're interested in him, he is number 34. This gentleman is a little peacocky. I think he's really trying to impress us with his chest. This is Major General Irvin McDowell. He fought in both battles of Bull Run, but after the war was known and was better known as being the Park Commissioner of San Francisco. And if you're interested in him, he is number 22. This lad is Major General Darius, not Darius Rucker, not from Hootie and the Blowfish. Major General Darius Nash Couch. He fought in the Battle of Fredericksburg, Chancellorsville, and Gettysburg. Another guy who really got around. And if you're interested in him, he is number 35. This stalwart old fellow here. Now, he's the one I had the most trouble identifying, okay? My best guess is this is Louis Prang. Louis Prang was a well-known lithographer during the Civil War. I mean, his stuff is all over the place. Now, I cannot definitively say this is Louis Prang, but I think it is. So, if you're interested in this gentleman, he is number 38. And I am so saving my best for last. This guy is my favorite. I had Custer, I had Grant, I had all the bigwigs, Sheridan and Sherman and all those guys, and I sold all those guys. But this guy, I was floored he didn't sell because he was such a character. He's definitely a dude you want to sit down with at a bar and have a beer with. This is Major General Daniel Sickles. He fought in the 7 Days Battle, Fredericksburg, Chancellorsville, Gettysburg. He lost a leg at Gettysburg and won the Medal of Honor. So that's kind of a brief synopsis of his war record. However, he was involved in many scandals, including the homicide of his wife's lover, who he gunned down in Lafayette Square across the street from the White House, people, and was acquitted. He was acquitted. He used temporary insanity, and it was the first time temporary insanity was used as a defense in the U.S. He later went on to have a career after. He was the minister to Spain, and he helped preserve Gettysburg. So Gettysburg is what we know it as today because of this gentleman, even though he killed his wife's lover. And if you're interested in him, he is number 37. Okay, that's it. That's all of them. And I thank you all so much for hanging out and watching the static sale. I'm really starting to really enjoy finding the photos and the ephemera. I've always kind of been there, especially from a historical point of view, that some of this contains so much information. It's always been a little bit of my first love. So I'm hoping to maybe do more of these, but I appreciate you hanging out with my birthday celebration. It's my birthday. So until next time, stay swanky and stay classy.